church family. I hope you are well and staying well. Our church leadership would like to share the following with you all. The coronavirus pandemic is a dynamic situation that will require monitoring and revisions to our plans. Sunday afternoon, March 16, 2020, the Governor of South Carolina called for a limiting of large group events to 100 or less. By evening, the Center for Disease Control, CDC, issued new guidelines for mass gatherings, which requested that mass gatherings be limited to 50 or less. Less than 24 hours later, President Donald Trump requested that gatherings be limited to 10 or less for at least the next 15 days in order to help stem the tide of infections. While some may debate the wisdom of these measures, the scriptures are clear that the government has a God-given role to preserve, protect, and promote its citizens' health, as well as the systems and infrastructure that supports it. In Romans 13, Paul exhorted the believers on how to respond to their leaders. He writes, "Let everyone submit to the governing authorities, since there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are instituted by God." It is our desire to comply with the spirit of the measures being taken and to encourage you to do so as well as an act of allegiance, not merely to our government, but to our Lord King Jesus. We believe that compliance with our officials at this time is an appropriate application of Paul's mandate in Romans 13. Our officials have not applied this stricture to Christians only. They are doing what they think is best for the public's well-being. As with submission to authority within the local church, we want to allow them to fulfill their God-given role with joy and not with grief. If the gospel of Jesus Christ were being treated as a virus to be eradicated, our response would most certainly have been that of Peter and the apostles when they were forbidden from preaching Christ. And Peter said, "We must obey God rather than men." While we are working to structure our life together in ways to comply with the guidance of our public officials, we have no intention of slowing down in being the body of Jesus Christ at Corinth Baptist Church. In fact, caring for each other is more urgent now than ever. The guidelines and parameters we have been given are strict, but they will not keep us from pursuing the core ministries that God has called us to as a church, namely worship, fellowship, discipleship, ministry, and evangelism. Temporary changes need to be made, but our mandate to love God, love others, and serve remains unchanged. So, in an effort to comply with our government leadership, we are suspending all church gatherings, including Sunday services and Wednesday night meetings, until further notice. By Wednesday, April 1, we'll be able to evaluate again if we can continue meeting or we need to suspend the meetings even farther. We will still proceed with our project week if individuals and or small groups of 10 or less would like to come and work here during that time. The office will remain open, and we are here to serve you in any way that we can. Please call if you have questions. Sue O'Connell will be in the office from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will be in the office more than that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and probably Friday. Please continue to be faithful in your giving with your tithes and offerings during any length of time we are unable to meet face-to-face in worship, and you may mail or bring your contributions to the church office during those times. Prayer requests may be sent via email, text message, or left on the church answering machine. We can send out a daily list of prayer requests via email and text. Another thing that you can do is have family worship. A simple structure for family worship is you sing a hymn or a song, and if you don't know the tune, you can always look something up on YouTube for words and accompaniment. Read the scriptures together. You could use a narrative passage or use a children's storybook Bible and read an accompanying passage with that. And then pray. Pray over prayer requests, pray about your family, yourself, the situation, and especially for our nation. And also, you can look at YouTube messages. We will be posting the messages for the next 2 Sundays on YouTube, and you will have instructions on how to do that. We believe that the above approach is right for the time being. Perhaps there is some solace in recognizing we're not alone. Many churches in our area have also taken similar measures. And we plan to continue monitoring the situation, praying for God's wisdom and mercy as this epidemic plays out. And may He help us to love Him, love others, and serve together no matter the circumstances. Now, of course, if you're feeling sick, this is from the CDC. If you're feeling sick, you stay home, except to get medical attention. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, then throw that tissue in the trash. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after going to the bathroom, before eating, and after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. Someone suggested that when you wash your hands, you sing the song Happy Birthday, and when you sing it to the end, that'll be about 20 seconds. Then, soap and water are our best friends in times like these, so use soap and water. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands, and clean frequently the touched surfaces and objects daily in the house and in your car. Now, how do we approach this? In Psalm chapter 56, David was calling for God's protection. He was right there with the Philistines, and they had captured him in Gath. And David, in verse 3 of Psalm 56, said, "When I am afraid, I will trust in you. In God whose word I praise. In God I trust, I will not be afraid." And so in a time like this, when we are afraid, David didn't say it was wrong to be afraid, but he said, "When I am afraid, I will trust in you, my God, in whom I trust." And so that's what we can do now, is we can trust in God even in the middle of these uncertain times. And you remember when Mary was in Nazareth, and the angel Gabriel came to Mary, and he was giving her the news about Jesus. First words he said were, "Fear not, fear not, I have come to give you good news." So Mary was afraid because she'd never seen an angel before, but he said, "Fear not, don't be afraid." So what we're saying here is, even if you are afraid, remember who you are trusting, and remember that God is taking care of us. Because Jesus told us in Matthew 28, he told his disciples right before he left this earth to return to heaven, he said, "And remember, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." And so when we're afraid, we trust in God. Don't be afraid, and remember that Jesus is always with us. I'll leave you with this. There was an older woman one time in a church service, and they were asking people to give their favorite Bible verse. People were standing up, quoting their different verses. And so this lady stood up, and she merely said the words, "It came to pass," and she sat down. And everybody had a puzzled look on their face because they were thinking, that's not a complete Bible verse. So they asked her to explain. She said, "Well, in my life I find out when challenges and tough times came," she said, "I learned that it came to pass, that it didn't come to stay." And so even in this situation we're in, it has come to pass, but it won't stay. So we can trust in God that He'll bring us through, and we will be better for it. So thank you, and keep looking at the YouTube. We will have the next 2 Sunday services on there. We will do them on Saturday and post them on Saturday night, so you can watch them on Sunday during any time that you would like to. So thank you for doing that.